Good morning and welcome to another video. This is Life Without Shakers, and today I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm in the lovely Peak District town of Bakewell for the start of the White to Dark Way, which is a long distance trail which was invented by Country Walking magazine in 2012 to celebrate its 25th anniversary, and it basically takes in all of the most scenic bits of the Peak District that happen to lie between here in Bakewell, in the White Peak, and Hope in the Dark Peak. The way the walk creators envisioned the walk to go, they split it into 3 stages, from Bakewell to Lytton, which is about 7 miles, and then from Lytton to Hathersage, which is 9.5 miles, and then from Hathersage to Hope, which is about 11 miles. With that is 7 miles to Lytton isn't very long. You get it done in a couple of hours, 3 hours maybe. And also there isn't much public transport between here and there, whereas there is a handy railway station at Hathersage. So what I'm doing today is a bit of a challenge. I'm going to do the White to Dark over 2 days, with today, day 1, being a 16-mile challenge walk from Bakewell to Hathersage. And it is a challenge because it is mid-October, and buses only run once an hour, trains rather, only run once an hour. Which means I need to be in Hathersage by 4:30. It's now 10:30, which gives me 6 hours to do 16 miles. Now that's a challenge for today. Now the reason why this challenge has been set is because it shouldn't be, well, in my head, too difficult to do the distance in the time. This isn't a Lake District after all, with its steep climbs and its steep descents. And indeed most of the first 4 miles or so is along the Monsal Trail, which is delightfully flat. However, typically it appears to start off up a bit of a slippy steep climb to get to the Monsal Trail in the first place. And so we reached the Monsal Trail, which you may recall I walked part of earlier this year in my stroll around Monsal Dale. It's the old Midland Railway main line between Derby and Manchester. One here for a couple of miles from here to Cressbrook, and unlike my previous walk, which only did a minor detour to the the main highlight of this walk. The white to dark goes straight through the majestic headstone tunnel and across Monsal Trail viaduct on its way to Cressbrook. And from Cressbrook we turn east toward, up through Cressbrook Dale towards Wardlow Myers, and then from there through Fullow and Eyam, and then finally across Eyam Moor to Harvest Edge. Here we are in the dark and quiet of Headstone Tunnel. Can you imagine what this was like with steam trains hurtling through it? You want to be stood in the middle where I am right now, that's for sure. And what a spectacular view greets passengers as they burst out into the daylight on the other side of Headstone Tunnel. These Monsal Head viaducts. And now we leave the Monsal Trail and head down towards Cressbrook Mill. I'd film this because it is quite majestic, but of course there's better views and more views of this on my earlier stroll around Monsal Dale video, which is linked above. Wardlow Myers now, on the technically second day of White to Dark, on the way to Fulo and Eyam. So I point out this valley where the path doesn't go. This valley is rather daft. It's called Silly Dale. Great name. But far too silly for this walk. Now, it has been mostly these gentle fields from Wardlow towards Eyam, but there in front is the first actual hill of this walk. That is Sir William Hill, or the Buckies, as it probably isn't known locally, but really should be. And that's the challenge for the afternoon. Up and over there into Stanage Edge. And here we are in Eyam, just under 4 hours in, just about 11.5 miles done. Well, slightly longer than that because there was a slight detour into Lytton, which I did about half an hour on accidentally, because rather than carrying on down the nice broad dry path, I didn't realise the actual way carried on along a narrow muddy path instead. But anyway, still making good time. Just about 5 miles to go to Stanage Edge. And just the one steep hill to go. Well, I definitely think if you're looking for a point where the White Peak transitions into the Dark Peak, Eyam's a good contender, not least because that climb out of Eyam is the first steep ascent, vaguely steep ascent you've had to do so far. But as we get towards the top of William Hill, we get a magnificent foretaste of what's to come in tomorrow's stage over the Dark Peak, because we can look across and see Stanage Edge, where the Dark Peak heads immediately out of Stanage Edge. Now, the White Start Way appears to have taken a little detour away from Haver's Edge just to take in these rather lovely stepping stones. As you can see though, the river is a little high and a little further apart than I was expecting. And also on the other side of these stepping stones is about a mile long trek along the busy main road. I'm going to ignore that because it doesn't actually go anywhere near the railway station, which is where I want to be right now. So I'm going to ignore these stepping stones, nice though they are, and take a alternative route back down the river, directly back towards the railway station, and then I'll pick up day 2 of the walk from there in the morning. Oh, made it back to Haver's Edge station with about 5 minutes to go before the train's due, so just about in time. Tough all day today. Got a bit slower than I thought coming over the hill from Eyam, mainly because the last couple of miles just got really muddy, which slowed progress down a bit. Still, just about did it in the time I set myself, so that's good. And next up is day 2, which shall be tomorrow, which is 11 miles from here to Hope. It's only actually 4 miles away down the railway line, but the White to Dark does a wiggly detour over Stanage Edge and Win Hill, so that should be exciting. Looking forward to that. So that'll be tomorrow. Here we are back again at Haver's Edge station. It's day 2 of the White to Dark way, and as you can see from my attire, it's a little bit sunnier than it was yesterday, which is nice. It's a slightly different challenge today. Yesterday was all about the rolling lowlands of the White Peak. Today it's the dark brooding moorlands of the Dark Peak. It's about 11 or 12 miles or so from here to Hope as the walk runs. It's an immediate ascent from Haver's Edge up towards Stanage Edge, and then along the edge for a way. Should be leading some spectacular views, and then from there down towards Ladybower Reservoir and over Win Hill into Hope. And here I am up on Stanage Edge, and it's incredible. In all the years I've been walking in the Peak Districts, I've never actually been up here, and I can't for the life of me work out why. It's a stunning place. finally made it to the edge of Ladybower Reservoir. Took ages, it seemed, coming down off Stanage Edge once the end of the moor finished at a road. There wasn't an obvious path for the way to go apart from alongside the busy main road. So I did a little bit of a detour along actual footpaths to avoid the road. It seems to have added miles and miles, but probably only about a mile and a half. Wow, it's an actual Lancaster bomber flying over Ladybower, still practicing the dambuster raids. And that was the summit of Win Hill. It's a bit of a slog to get up to, but my goodness, what a fitting climax to the White to Dark Way. Stunning views for miles in all directions, if you ignore the large cement factory in Castleton. Right, only one way to go now, and that is downhill into Hope. And finally we arrive in Hope, the end of the White to Dark Way. It's been quite a nice adventure, just about doable in 2 days, although I think preferably what you do is overnight in Eyam Moor, that make it easier to split in two rather than relying on public transport to get you home and back overnight. Which is actually only possible because I live only about an hour away from the walk anyway. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this mini epic. Certainly enjoyed walking it, and hope you can join me again next time for some more walking fun. Bye.